do you feel distracted throughout the day? Because I know at one point you had said, if I see a notification and it's work, I'm going to look at that. If it's not, then I won't. Is your practice like to look at the notification and then see what it is, and if it doesn't feel important in that window, then you just don't open it? That's pretty much the process.
So my schedule, because it changes every day. Sometimes I'm traveling, sometimes I'm not. If I'm at home, I often almost always only leave my work computer open, and I only have specific things linked to that, right? So if I see a text or if I see something come up, oftentimes I communicate via text with coworkers and such. I'll answer it, but I have no social media and nothing.
So you don't have your phone?
No. I use my phone for phone calls, but I leave it face down, and I do not use that thing unless I absolutely have to for something personal. I try to, right? Okay. Now, if you're on a 5-minute break or something like that, you take a walk, go grab a drink, that's different. But yeah, if I'm working, if I'm sitting down at my computer, that's 100% what I'm doing. I'm just focused on my computer. If something pops up in Slack for work or whatever the case is, I answer it. Everything else, really not important. Right.
I like what you said about flipping the phone down, because I do the same thing when I'm at work.
So distracting.
Notifications start, and every time something pops up, I'm whoop, whoop,
yep.
whoop. Like, what is that? What is that? Oh, Uber Eats got a sale going. Like, I'm just popping over, and it's nothing. Typically, it's nothing that's super important, but it's breaking my focus every couple seconds. Like, focus is getting broken. So I have found, like, I do the same thing. I flip my phone down, and I don't look at it until it's time to take lunch. And I take lunch and I flip it over, and that's when I'll look to see, is there any of these that I actually want to investigate as far as the notifications, or are these just kind of BS?
100%.
100%.
Actually, to your point too, it's I've heard this in some videos. I don't actually know anything about it, but I've been really intrigued to do more research on. There's this sort of sweet spot when you begin to work on something, a task or some type of project or whatever the case is. It's the length of time you work on it consistently without being distracted by anything else. Has a play in how productive you are in getting that done, right? And I don't know the science behind it, but I know there is some science behind it. There has to be.
Oh, yes.
Because not only do I feel it, I've heard other people say, I feel this thing too. If I'm at like the hour and 10-minute mark, I'm good, I'm rolling. But at the 2 hours and 4 minutes mark, I need to take a break. Yeah. It's like, we just know that, I kind of instinctually almost.
Yep.
But it's important too, in just being a little bit self-aware, I think, to know or spend the time to understand that and go, you know what, as much as I really want to check that phone right now, I gotta keep focused, because you'll get more done, I feel like, and whether that's personal or professional, I think it's just important,
It really is.
You can't just stop doing the dishes halfway through the dishes. Your wife, in my case, right, or boyfriend or husband, or whatever the case is. I don't have a wife, actually.
I was like, in your case?
Future Aaron.
Like, man, really thinking
but comes home and they're like, why'd you only do half the dishes? I'm like, I don't know.
I got a notification, man.
Got a notification.
Check it.
You text me.
Yeah, man, it's dangerous. It's funny because I was actually having a conversation with my roommate the other day, and we started talking about this, and I was like, man, these notifications are just so distracting. And I was like, man, I wish, Apple developed some just notification options where I could really go in and get strategic with my notifications and start saying, hey, I want to only receive texts from this group of people at this window. I only want to receive calls at this window. None of these apps should be notifying me during most of these windows. And then my roommate was like, yeah, you can do that now. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, open up your iPhone. So I opened it up. He's like, go to notifications and go to focus mode, and everything I just described, you can do it now. And I was like, well, I'm gonna see you in a couple hours. I'm gonna go play with this. And it's really cool. So now I've set it up, and it's automatic, like based on my location. So when I drive to work, it puts it in work mode, and it will not allow certain notifications to come through anymore. It's really cool.
That's tricky.
And I'm like, that's awesome. Like, it keeps my focus. Now I really don't have to flip my phone over now if I don't want to.
Do you find that notifications?
Yeah. Like I just did it this weekend. So we're gonna see. So it's only been live for like a day or two, but like I can already tell it's going to help. And now it's making me more cognizant of just notifications, period. Now I just went to my emails. I'm like, all right, I gotta clean this up. Like, I'm going through 30, 40, 50 emails a day, deleting random emails. Like, I gotta just start unsubscribing to all that stuff. If I'm not looking at it, like, I shouldn't be taking portions of my life every day to delete emails, to look at notifications that aren't important to me. Like, I think if we're more selfish with our time and say, you know, I don't want to be bothered by this, and click the button that says stop bothering me, you know, because I think we have the tendency to just look at the notification and then just, delete the email or hide the notification and hide the notification and hide it. Like, just take the additional step and to not see that notification anymore. So I'm going through my note now I'm like I said, every time I get a notification, I'm like, all right, do I need to ever see this again? And if I don't, then I'm going to my notifications, I'm turning that off. I don't ever want to see that again because it's breaking my focus. And I think my roommate told me, and I don't know if this is factual, but he was like, every time your focus gets broken, it takes like 15 minutes at minimum to get refocused again.
I have heard that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that is, but it sounds right.
It sounds right. Let's take it as fact.
You're onto something there.
So the amount of times that our phone is doing that to us, I just think it's part of the development of the technology. I think we got all this access to information, and then as the results and the data is coming in on how it's affecting us, we're realizing, hey, we need to limit our usage of this thing, and we need to limit the impact that it has on us from a notification and alert perspective and a focus perspective. And the way we do that is design the technology around your lifestyle and what the lifestyle is that you want. And you don't want to be checking your phone all the time.
I was going to ask you how you handle it, but you just told me how you handle it. So good. I'll check that out too. I've never actually looked at those settings.
Yeah, I didn't either, man.
Funny.
I didn't, and I couldn't believe it. He's like, "You should work for Apple." I was like, "You know what? Maybe I should work for Apple." But yeah, it was crazy just saying, "Man, I really wish I could do all these things," and then seeing all the buttons already there, and I'm like, "Wow, this is." Sometimes it just takes clicking on your settings, going through and looking at what's available. You know, we're constantly updating our phones. This is what some of the updates are doing, right? They're giving you more access to.
I knew I should have read that manual. Damn it.
Right? So yeah, man, that's a big impactor, man. That's a big one.
Yeah, good deal, man. I like that.
That's it. Cool.
It's a wrap.
See ya.
Elevate. Only obligation is to tell it straight.